Hello my lovelies, and welcome to today's video. My name's Alya and I'm so glad that you popped in. So we're going to be studying something completely brand new, different today, but at the same time eerily the same as always. Usually my weekend uploads are a makeup tutorial or an eye look to see us into the new week inspired. I absolutely love makeup, and please don't worry, I'm not going to be letting go of makeup. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I have been wanting my channel to move to a different direction, to a new dimension for quite a while now. I've mentioned it before and I've just been putting off doing it because I just didn't know how to do it. So as I mentioned in passing in previous videos, I'm not just a YouTuber, not by far. This channel was definitely born by my beautiful friends asking me about makeup and tickles, and I often get asked about eye health. Now the reason for that is I'm an orthoptist. I'm an orthoptist of exactly 10 years this month, so that's a bit of an exciting achievement in itself. So those of you who don't know me personally, you wouldn't know that I often get stopped for advice, or people just casually mention in passing issues with their eyes. I don't know whether it's because they're looking for advice or whether they just know that I'll listen because I understand, but I very frequently end up in conversations about eyes, probably because of what I do. So if you would like to see me create this look, I was using the Ether Beauty palettes as usual and my Savvy Minerals makeup on the face. This is going to be a bridge into a new segment that I want to introduce alongside my makeup tutorials. So I won't just be doing makeup and talking about how I've done it, because I feel like I've done it all, and I'll stop and mention things if there's a new technique or whatever, but I always want to include just a little bit about some sort of eye health issue. So I'll talk a little bit about it today as well, but just a little bit. Whereas in future weeks, I want to really focus on not just an eye look, but also eye health. So stick around and subscribe and like and find me on Instagram. Do all the things that YouTubers ask you to do. I would be very grateful. But also if you want to hear a little bit more about my work and my life and how this look happened, I'll see you for the next about 10 minutes. See you lovelies. Be safe. Okay, so hopefully I've done the intro and here we are now. So let's get started. So you're probably thinking, what's an orthoptist, right? That's usually what the first thing I get asked is, what is an orthoptist? So classically the word means straight eyes. Just like orthodontist means straight teeth, orthoptist means straight eyes. So you would think that all we do is, squints and neurological stuff, which classically was probably true. But these days with technology improving and all the fun things that we're discovering and all the diseases that we're now able to treat, it's a little bit different. Things keep getting redefined all the time. So I personally work a lot more as a diagnostician and technician and medical photographer, things like that, and basically like an assistant to the ophthalmologist. So I do a lot more ophthalmology-like work than what I do classic orthoptics. I in fact don't enjoy classic orthoptics at all, and yeah, so I work a lot with disease. I work with glaucoma, macular degeneration, cataracts, a lot of dry eye, chalasia, so eye styes, things like that, eye infections, anything from ulcers and, all the nasties and all the unfortunate things that can travel around our body into our eyes. And the most sort of enjoyable thing that I get to do about my job is that I get to sort of be the first port of call for a lot of the patients. They come in and see me. I get to sort of sort out what their eyes are going through before they even see the doctor. So I get to deliver good news, bad news. Sometimes I choose to deliver no news because sometimes it's a little bit complex and it's better for the doctor to decide what to tell them. It's a very emotional job. It's a very taxing job because you don't always get to give them good news. And as the population ages, the bad news ages. It populates. So at the moment our probably biggest crisis that we're facing is macular degeneration. So that's a disease where the very center of the eye, the very back of the eye, the macula, starts to degenerate, stops working, stops recycling, stops growing new bits, and starts to die away. And in the process of dying away, sometimes for some people it means that they're going to end up with new vessels forming. Those vessels are new and unnecessary and weak, and they pop and bleed and cause lots of mess inside the eye, a lot of bleeding. So we can definitely treat the bleeding and restore some of the vision loss caused by the bleeding, but we can't really do much about the disease underneath, which is a shame. It's a real big shame. that's the main sort of stuff that I do. But in terms of the majority of people that come through, we're finding a lot more, especially now with lockdown, eye strain, dry eyes, and what I've been very, very lovingly called oisgesund, which is just a little bit of my kind of humor to kind of deal with everything. But basically it's the fatigue that we get from being on the screen all the time, you know, all the Zoom calls, all the Skype chats, all the FaceTime, and it's amazing, priceless in fact that we have that technology, because we're not disconnected. If you have that, you still have some kind of reminder of the people who love you, you still get to see people's faces, you still get to communicate with emotion and with some kind of a, I don't know, another dimension of communication, which they wouldn't have had last time there was a lockdown with Spanish flu and things like that. So it's kind of lucky in a lot of ways that if you do have someone to reach out to, and if you do have the ability to just log on and jump on and call, I would encourage you to call the ones you love and miss. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear from you. So what do you do about fatigue with the eyes? Well, my favorite bit of advice is to follow the 20-20-20 rule. So 20 minutes, every 20 minutes you take a 20-second break and you look 20 meters away. What that does is it relaxes the muscles that have been working really, really hard to focus up close. It gives you a bit of a break of staring at a screen at blue light, and it reminds you to take the break. So it's not always practical for it to be 20-20-20, but you don't have to do much. It's enough to look out the window. It's enough to just stare at the ceiling. It's enough to just close your eyes, in fact. But it's just nice to have a change of scenery as well, which is why looking out the window is such a good idea. And for your posture, it's an even better idea if you can get up and go for a walk. That would be the best. Just a quick little, you know, maybe to the pantry and back is what I've been doing. But, you know, just stretch your legs. With dry eye, it's a little bit more complicated. It's not enough to take a break for the eye to regenerate for most people. By the time you're actually suffering from dry eye syndrome, you'll often find that you need some support with drops. My favorite drop to suggest to people that have mild dry eye, so they're just getting a little bit of fatigue and a little bit of sort of itchy eyes or just uncomfortable eyes, a little bit of burning perhaps from using the computer, is the Hylo Fresh in Australia. Love that product. It's so nice. Hylo Fresh has also got a little sister drop called Hylo Fort, which is a lot more gooey. Kind of takes your sight away for a couple of seconds because it is so gooey, but you know, you usually blink it away and it's really nice and really soothing on the eye. And then there's for the really itchy and allergy prone eyes, you've also got Chromo Fresh. It's like a little family of drops, and I just love how effective they are, and so I've been suggesting them a lot to people, to my patients. I've also been really, really enjoying the idea of sort of holistic or non-medicated approach to trying to sort of solve, if you can solve it, eye fatigue. Something like a hot compress at the end of the day to really get all the oils circulating, or perhaps introducing some nice omega-3s to your diet or via food supplements, things like flaxseed oils, or, you know, if you like it, fish oils, or specialized supplements for dry eye. Absolutely love that. You can definitely support your eyes through your diet. You can definitely introduce leafy greens to stop the eye from aging. There's just so many things that I can't wait to tell you guys about in further series with this. So today was just basically my excuse or opportunity to tell you a little bit more about what I do in my everyday life, you know, so that I can, I guess, segue to this segment, you know, and really get into telling you a bit more about eyes. I think that there's a lot that I could offer. There's definitely a bit of a difference to the way we approach things in Australia to what I've seen on the internet and the American or wherever they're from approach might be. So I'm really excited to be able to bring that to you guys. It's just something different. And some of these products might be available in your country or in your region, and they're not necessarily the same as the ones that are in America. I was not familiar with a lot of the suggestions the American YouTubers that do this sort of thing had. I just haven't heard of the products. I'm sure we have something comparable, but you know, I just didn't know what they were. So yeah, so I can't wait to talk to you a little bit more about my other passion. And while I'm here, I'm going to also tell you a little bit more about the other thing that I do. So I'm an orthoptist 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the week. I work for 2 doctors. One's a retinal specialist, so we deal mostly with macular diseases. But she does a little bit of everything, but for the most part. And the other doctor I work for, the owner of the clinic that I work for, she's amazing. They're both amazing. We do a lot of blepharoplasties. Big word. Basically, that's the correction of the eye shape due to different things, but it's a plastic procedure, plastic surgery done to the eyes to help open them up if they're drooping, help tighten them up, you know, if the lid has laxed down a little bit, or if these muscles have laxed, she tightens those. Occasionally we'll do a brow lift if there's been like a stroke or something that has caused the brow to sag. You know, basically plastic reconstruction to the eye so that it can function properly. So whether that means improving the person's sight because you're opening up the field of view, or function to the tears because they can, you know, circulate properly again, whatever the case might be. At the moment, of course, surgery is an absolute no-go. We are in lockdown. So unless it's a very urgent, say, cancer removal from the eye, or something that's really causing someone some danger, like really severe vision loss, we're just not going to be able to do it at the moment with lockdown. Sad, I know, but that's where we are. The other thing I was about to tell you about is my absolutely wonderful passion project. So I've got a couple of friends, husband and wife, who have become more like a brother and sister to me. They are just amazing people. I'm actually very blessed. I have to tell you guys, I am so very blessed with my friends. I'm sure a lot of people think they have, but I actually have the best people around me. I'm just so incredibly blessed with people, always have been, and you know, I'm just very fortunate that way. So aside from working with amazing doctors who have become, especially the one that I've mentioned who does a lot of plastic surgery and cataracts, and wonderful results with cataracts, she's just brilliant, become my friends. So two of my friends have about 5 years ago started a social project, we should call it. Now this social project, it was basically to, you know, really pull the community back together, serve Russian style food, you know, really get religion back into the picture without all the taboo and without all the sort of dogma that comes with the religion a lot of the time, just a social enterprise. And very quickly, those of us participating, and of course our beautiful organizers, this couple, realized that it's not enough. It's just not enough. We found that people were needing support. They weren't needing necessarily these beautiful functions as much as they're necessary too. They were needing real support. Some of these people were socially isolated, or they'd come upon hard times or health issues, or they've just been unable to prepare food for themselves anymore, or they didn't have access to the food they preferred, or for example kosher or something like that. And very quickly our social enterprise became a soup kitchen. So 2 years ago now, Super Kitchen was born. And from the very beginning, I've been incredibly proud and incredibly blessed to be a big part of it. And more recently, I've become a director. So this wonderful couple have invited me. I guess they see some sort of value in what I can bring, which is extremely big compliment. I hope that I'll do them even half the justice of what they think I'll be able to bring. And yeah, so I'm now on board. We are in a new premises. We are about here deep with projects, but I promised myself at the very beginning that I wouldn't sacrifice anything. Not my children, not time with my children, not my channel, definitely not my professional work, to do this. So I'm a part-time director of a soup kitchen, and part-time orthoptist, and full-time mum of 2 crazy kids, and I'm going to be bringing you some more things about eye health. So that's the plan. And of course on Wednesdays we're still going to be having tickle tutorials. Of course I wouldn't take those away, because that's the origin of this channel, and I have always got some creative ideas up my sleeve or on my head, as the case may be, for that particular segment. So yeah. So sorry if I blabbed on too much. I had a lot to get out. I really wanted to sort of give you a little sort of cover of what I would be talking about in the coming weeks. If you're interested in any particular eye issues, please comment below. I am more than happy to talk about just about any eye issues. If I am at all undereducated on the topic, I will definitely endeavor to find out. There's very little I don't see in my practice. Yeah, there's very little we don't see. We kind of just do a little bit of everything. So yeah, by all means hit me up. I can't believe it's been 10 years almost to the day since I started, and yeah, I hope that this is going to add a nice dimension to this channel. So we're going to be doing basically a little bit like today, a chatty get ready with me, talking about eye health, and I'm going to definitely be doing it more specifically and a little less randomly. But I just didn't know how to introduce this segment, which is what's actually held it up so long. I was ready to do this a few weeks back, but just didn't know how to do it, and I just thought, stuff it. I've been doing this for a few years now. I should be comfortable enough just to get in front of the camera and talk to you guys. So I really hope that, just like always, that wherever you are, you're happy, you're safe, you are keeping happy. So not just safe physically, but mentally. And I hope that you enjoy this segment when it does come up. If you're excited about this new endeavor, this new topic on the channel, please hit like, or maybe you like the eye look that I created today using green and yellow and a bit of peach. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, because then you'll definitely be notified when these videos are going up. But you can definitely expect something midweek about a tickle, and something on the weekend to do with makeup, and now a little bit about eye health. Thanks as always for coming along on the journey with me, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye!